Hey guys, it is a new year. Yeah, man, 2020 is here. Six Nations and Super Rugby are not that far away. But before I get about what's going on in the future, I'll just talk a little bit about what happened in the month of December. Talk a little bit about a couple of news stories that came out kind of today and yesterday, and yeah, then talk about what the plans are for this month. So monthly update for December. 33 YouTube videos. So it was a pretty busy month in terms of Southern Hemisphere stuff. It gets pretty quiet around that time of year. There's not that much going on. There's been a little bit of news about some of our players from like New Zealand and whatnot who've made their way north. I know I've been reading a little bit about some of the Springbok guys making their debuts in the top 14 as well, like Pollard and Etzebeth and whatnot. So there's a bit been going on, but largely, at least in New Zealand, it's cricket season, so it has been quiet. I've been keeping up with the Champions Cup, which is a fair few of those videos that I did for YouTube. 117,000 views over December, which is cool. Subscribers to 2624 is the current count. So yeah, ticking along pretty nicely. Thank you guys for being along for the ride. The number one video this month was the Barbarians Wales game, 13,000 views. And I think second was the Southern Hemisphere squad, which I picked, which was about 1,000 less, but had better view time. So yeah, it's been an interesting month. That Barbars game seems like a long time ago now, but I guess that is just the way of things. The time just seems to fly on by. I did do 7 videos for Patreon during the month as well, so man, I was a busy boy. Including like the new Blues jersey review for 2020, the Super Rugby jersey. I talked a little about the Crusaders logo, the All Blacks coaching situation, the South African coaching situation, which still seems to be a bit up in the air. But yeah, I will just take a moment to thank my Patreon supporters. Their support really does help me out a lot. So that's John King, Ribsy, Heinzen, Michael Daly, Charlotte Scott, Ryan Borotra, Eric Wugman, Liam Ireland, Dead Grubber, Morocco, Alan Patterson, Nicholas Vigier, Carl Woodley, Xavier Fleming, Charles Ockerman, Dave Hooper, Morne Bester, Sean Grant, Trevor Kens, Samuel Gerber, Johannes Christian, Grant Dexter, Luke Althoff, Sean M, and Vivek Nayak. So cheers, guys. As always, the support is really, really appreciated. And it's nice to be able to do the extra bit of stuff as well. I did a live stream as well for Patreon during that time as well. Sometimes I will get back into the live streams for YouTube itself once Super Rugby and perhaps the Six Nations kick off. I do prefer to do the live streams, at least on YouTube, once it's kind of night and my kids have gone to bed. So the Rugby World Cup kind of worked out well for that. Super Rugby should be okay. Six Nations games are generally on in the morning when my kids are more likely to be running around and wanting to know what I'm doing. So yeah, I haven't done a morning one for YouTube as yet, but I guess we'll see how we go. So yeah, cheers guys, all you Patreon people, all you YouTube people, subscribers, people who like, watch, share, all that jazz, guys on Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, man, it's been another good month. And here's looking forward to this new year, this new decade. It should be a bit of fun. A couple of bits of news that are out. One is that Munster's doctor has been fined. If you guys missed this, I actually watched this game. It was part of the Champions Cup. There was a big kind of hoo-ha, semi-brawl, but without any punches really being thrown. You know, the standard handbag stuff between Saracens and Munster. And it all kicked off, apparently, when the Munster team doctor, whose name I didn't know, but it's Jamie Kearns, called Jamie George, who's England and Saracens hooker, a nasty name, basically called him a fat, and insert swear word here. And yeah, he didn't take kindly to it. So there was a bit of words exchanged, and then everyone got involved, and it took a while for it to kind of calm down. So 2 things I take away from that. Fair enough, you get fined. You shouldn't be getting involved with that stuff if you are, one of the non-playing staff. If you're one of the coaches or whatever, you should kind of mind your P's and Q's and just do your job. That being said, Jamie George's reaction is going to have all and sundry calling him the exact same name. All opposition fans will call him that same line, and either he gets immune to it or he's going to be blowing up a fair bit. So once you've proven that, you know, people can get under your skin, people are just going to do it more. So yeah, that is a lesson for all of us, I guess. One I should maybe keep in mind occasionally when I respond to less than pleasant comments. But hey, yeah, he got fined £2,000. Got a 3-week touchline ban, but that's been suspended for 12 months. So, yeah, that's a fair end to the story, I guess. We'll see what happens from here, but I think that should be it. The other one, which might be a fun one to go back and look at in at the end of the year, is Planet Rugby, which is a rugby news site, has put up 7 bold predictions for 2020. Some of the things that they think might happen. I'll quickly list them off and you guys can let me know which ones you think are more likely than others. They're predicting the Springboks to get a Rugby World Cup hangover, so to not perform to those same levels in 2020. Whatever happens with the new coach and how many of the overseas players they call up for this year will be an interesting one to watch. England to go unbeaten in 2020. Could potentially happen, I guess, but they've got the Six Nations to get through first. That would mean probably a Grand Slam unless there's a draw. They picked the All Blacks to struggle under Ian Foster, and there's a fair few Kiwis picking the same thing, to be fair. Wasps to get relegated from the Premiership. They're not doing that good this season. Them and Leicester are kind of towards the bottom of the table. Saracens are there due to those points deducted, but they'll be out of that zone soon enough. So that could potentially happen. Exeter to do the double, so to win the Premiership and to win the Champions Cup. So they're doing pretty bloody good in the Champions Cup this year. So it is possible, but not guaranteed. Glasgow Warriors to crumble without Dave Rennie. Again, he's a pretty good coach, so it's possible. Did the Chiefs crumble without him when he left the Chiefs Super Rugby team? Not really, but they haven't won any titles since he's gone, so there you go. And Fraser McCreight and Lewis Rees-Zammit to get international caps in 2020, so 2 young up-and-coming players. It'll be interesting to see if Rees-Zammit goes with Wales or England, because he's playing in England, but he is Welsh, so another one of those ones where you got to make that call. So, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on those. I wish they'd had a Super Rugby prediction or two in there as well, like maybe a new champion for Super Rugby, but I guess it's got a bit of a northern focus, apart from the Springboks and the All Blacks lines that they might struggle this year. Maybe they're implying that the Wallabies will do well if the All Blacks and the Springboks are going to struggle, and that Dave Rennie is such a crucial piece of the puzzle at Glasgow. For January, now that we're in January, I'll be continuing on with the Champions Cup content as well, but also with one eye on Super Rugby and the Six Nations, which are on their way. I've already done my first preview for 2020 Super Rugby, which I started with the Crusaders because I didn't get a chance to do their review for last year, so that's bundled up there as well. But yeah, then once the Six Nations squad start to get named, I will be doing those videos as well. Those ones have always got me kind of sitting there at work. I have to go back to work tomorrow, which is very unfortunate, but that's what you got to do. I'm always sitting there at work when I know the squads are kind of due for the Six Nations. It was worse for the World Cup, just kind of refreshing pages every 10 minutes, half an hour after my break and whatnot to see if the squads are out. So yeah, it should be an interesting month. And then February gets even a bit more juicier. But yeah, cheers as always, guys. Thanks for coming along. And we'll see what January has to bring. You guys let me know your thoughts on those news stories. Link to the Patreon page is in the description if you guys are keen to sign up there. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.